In my last video, I went through all the stats to figure out who is having the best season at point guard in the NBA. Now I've done the same thing, but for the shooting guard position. How I determine who is at these positions is by using whatever basketball reference defines the player as. So guys like LeBron James, who do it all and can be determined as almost any position, won't be included at every position. I've reviewed a ton of footage as well as comparing stats, percentages, and how their individual teams are performing this year. The first player on my list is Anthony Edwards. Edwards is in his second season in Minnesota and currently helping the team to a 34-29 record and 7th in the Western Conference. This is Minnesota's best record since the 2017 season when they had Jimmy Butler at the 2 guard. Edwards' improvement in year 2 is a huge part why this team has a great chance at making the playoffs. He's averaging 21.4 points, 4.7 rebounds, and 3.7 assists. All of these are improvements upon his rookie season. Edwards has also made an improvement in his 3-point shooting. He's now just under 35% shooting from 3. You can rely on him to play hard on the defensive end and guard the opposing team's best perimeter players when needed. His athleticism is up there with the elite players in this league. So what is keeping him from being the GOAT at the 2 guard? For me, it comes down to his shooting and playmaking not being just quite enough. I think that there's a clear path for him to improve on just a few more aspects of his game and then really make a jump into maybe the top shooting guard in this league. Next guy I'm throwing in here is loved by few and hated by many, James Harden. In my opinion, the most talented shooting guard in the league. He's listed at both point guard and shooting guard on Basketball Reference, and I didn't feel right snubbing him 2 videos in a row. Harden really is a talented player, and we all know what he's capable of. He's been so close to a championship on some great teams, but there's always been some huge obstacles in front of him. Nobody was ever getting past the KD Warriors, and he takes too much heat for losing in those years. But now he's got a chance to redeem himself in Philadelphia. He's averaging 22 points, 10 assists, and 8 rebounds this year. Really phenomenal numbers, but being a bad teammate for half the year is docking him some points. And even though I said I think he's the most talented shooting guard, he's just not been all the way committed this year. Had he started the year in Philly and played like he has the first few games for them, he'd likely be my number 1 on this list. And maybe he will crack the top of this list by the end of the playoffs, but for now, I'm going in a different direction. I'm not sure if I'll get too much heat for passing on Harden as the number 1 2 guard, but I guarantee I'll catch some heat when I pass on this next guy. That guy is Donovan Mitchell. Mitchell is averaging 26 points, 5 assists, and 4 rebounds. The Jazz are an under-the-radar team this year with a 39-22 record at 4th in the West. At 25 years of age, Mitchell is the leader of this team and has proven that he can keep them in playoff contention year in and year out. This season is no different. I think he's definitely deserving of the title of the league's best 2 guard. How do you even guard this guy? He can shoot from almost anywhere and he gets to the bucket at will. His highlights aren't flashy like some other guys in this league or even on this list. He doesn't make these insane Harden-like passes, but he just finds a way to score and puts his team in a position to win. In the end, for me, it didn't come down to what Mitchell is capable of, but more so of what the guy in front of him has been doing this year. Before I get to who my number 1 shooting guard in the league is, I want to shout out some honorable mentions who are having noteworthy seasons. So here we go. CJ McCollum of the New Orleans Pelicans. Tyler Hero of the Miami Heat. Gary Trent Jr. of the Toronto Raptors. And last but not least, Reggie Jackson of the Los Angeles Clippers. Okay, so the number 1 shooting guard in the NBA this season is Devin Booker. Booker is the best player on the best team. The Phoenix Suns are 50-12 and the number 1 seed in the West. The next best record is 7 games behind Phoenix. Now, this isn't the only reason Booker is deserving of the spot. He's currently averaging 25.6 points, 4.6 assists, and 5.2 rebounds. The team could take a slide here over the next few games as Booker has been placed in the league's health and safety protocols, and missing both him and CP3 will be a huge hit. But I've got confidence that when Booker returns, he will be enough for this team to keep a hold on that #1 spot. Booker has always had his haters, and over the last couple seasons, I think he's finally shut them up. He's proven to them that he's not just a guy who fills up the stat sheets, but he also contributes to winning. He does it on the defensive end and the offensive end. When his team needs him to score, he does that. When they need a playmaker, he shows up. D-Book is a winner, and that's why he's this year's best shooting guard in the league. So I want to know, am I wrong? Is D-Book not the best shooting guard in the league? Is it somebody that I didn't even mention? Tell me if I'm wrong. Let me know in the comments below. And if you want to see any more content like this, then hit that sub button.
You know, Stephen and Seth. Nice top drive.
Is the spin. Kicks it out to Bridges. Here's Booker, given space, found the wing, and buries the three as now Ayton and Davis get